A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wasallam. Today we will contemplate on the 10th Ruku of Surah An Nahl. Last Ruku ended with this statement: It is He, Allah Almighty, who creates us, and we pass through different stages of life and complete our lifespan. Childhood turns into youth, while youth transforms into old age, and one day we depart. Among us, some are those who reach to such feeble stage of life where their intellect becomes totally diminished, and they reach to a stage wherein, despite having the knowledge in the earlier stages, they know nothing. One can realize this powerlessness before death. It is all in accordance to the knowledge of Allah Almighty and the divine laws. With this prayer that may Allah Almighty help us in understanding the Holy Quran by the grace of His beloved Prophet Rahmatul lil Alameen Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Let us start today's session, Surah An Nahl, Ruku 10, comprising verses 71 to 76. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wallahu fazzala ba'dakum ala ba'din fir rizq, and Allah Almighty has given preference of some among you on others in the provisions. Famal lazina fuzillu biraddi rizqihim ala ma malakat aymanuhum fahum fihi sawa'un. Thus, those who were given preference would not hand over their provisions to who their right hands possess, so they would be equal to them therein. Afa binematillahi yajhadun. Then is it the preference of Allah they reject? Malakat aymanuhum, subordinates. Everyone has a different capability of earning sustenance. Allah Almighty has blessed some people with greater resources than others. It does not mean that these folks show proudness and consider this affluence as the end result of their hardship, struggles, and wisdom, and become the custodian of Allah's provision. Everyone has the right upon the resources of life. Therefore, it is better to distribute the abundance of provision to the people who are under our influence, so that their economical condition may become better. In chapter 30, Surah Ar-Rum, verse 28, it is mentioned, He presents to you an example from yourselves. Do you have among those whom your right hands possess any partner in what we have provided for you, so that you are equal therein and would fear them as you fear of one another? Thus do we detail the verses for a people who use reason. One who does not take care of this matter is in fact negating this fact that his capabilities are the benediction of Allah Almighty upon him. The perception of such like people is mentioned in chapter 39, Surah Az-Zumar, verse 49. Translation is, and when adversity touches man, he calls upon us. Then when we bestow on him a favor from us, he says, I have only been given it because of my knowledge. Rather, it is a trial, but most of them do not know. Such action reflects the capitalist mind and is absolutely wrong. Qarun was practicing this perception, and Quran mentions about him in chapter 28, Surah Al-Qasas, verse 78. Translation is, He said, I was only given it because of the knowledge I have. Did he not know that Allah had destroyed before him of generations those who were greater than him in power and greater in accumulation of wealth? But the criminals about their sins will not be asked. Wallahu ja'ala lakum min anfusikum azwajan, and Allah Almighty has made for you from yourselves mates. وَجَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ بَنِينَ وَحَفَدَةً وَرَزَقَكُم minat tayyibat, and has made from your mates sons and grandchildren, and has provided sustenance to you from the useful things. Afa bil batili yu'minuna wa bi ni'matillahi hum yakfurun. Then in falsehood do they believe and they deny blessing of Allah Almighty. Hafadatan, grandsons. Allah Almighty has made mates for us from ourselves. From those mates, children are born, and then from these children, we have grandchildren. The capabilities about earning are even different in every member of the family. Some people earn, kids and aged cannot contribute in earning, but every member of the family gets the provision according to his necessity. Human society is like a lineage. In it, everyone has different capability of remuneration. Therefore, it is important that the well-off people should spend their resources on others. Now, all those folks who adhere the incorrect course as compared to the righteous are in fact practicing ingratitude. وَيَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, and they serve others beside Allah Almighty. Mala yamliku lahum rizqam minas samawati wal ardi shay'a, who do not possess any power of providing them any sustenance from heavens and earth. Wala yastatiyun, neither they are capable. Wala tasribu lillahil amsal, so do not assert similarities to Allah Almighty. Inna Allaha ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. Indeed, Allah Almighty has the knowledge and you do not know. Yastatiyun, they are able to. The perception of considering the available resources as the outcome of one's own knowledge, capability, and diligence, and then restricting it for his own benefit, makes such like people as the servant of the system established by those other than Allah Almighty. Although such folks neither have any control over the provisions and nor do they have any authority to bestow any special knowledge or capability to anyone. Every type of treasure belongs to Allah Almighty, and He distributes it among His creatures in accordance with His divine laws. In chapter 15, Surah Al Hijr, verse 21, it is stated, "We have treasures of everything, and neither we send it down but with a determined quantity." It is the manifestation of ignorance to declare one's incorrect ways as legal in accordance to his self-fabricated beliefs. For example, negating the assistance of the needy by saying that if Allah wills, He would feed them of His own is absolutely incorrect. The distribution of the resources of life are according to the laws governed by Allah Almighty. He is well aware of the fact that why there is a necessity of differentiating the earning capabilities and the primordial of the acquisition of provisions. But most of us are not aware of this reality. Zaraballahu masalan abdam mamluka. Allah Almighty gives you an example of a slave under the dominion of another. La yaktiru ala shay'in, has no power of any sort. Wamar razaqnahu minna rizqan hasanan fahuwa yunfiku minhu sirran wa jahra. And a man on whom we have bestowed goodly provisions from ourselves, so he spends thereof privately and publicly. Hal yastawun, are the two equivalent? Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah Almighty. Bal aksaruhum la ya'lamun, but most of them do not know. Mamlukan, who is owned. To elaborate the discussion in this ruku, Allah Almighty has given an example of two people regarding authority. One is the purchased slave, and he is totally dependent and does not have any power, whereas the other person has been blessed with the best provision and he is spending it for the welfare of the creatures of God covertly and openly. Are they equal? Absolutely not. Copiousness and impecuniousness are with respect to Almighty's law. The need for it is that everyone does his work in accordance to his capability, and the one who has been given affluence should assist the needy. But this thing cannot be understood by those who are opportunist and self centered. وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا رَجُلَيْنِ, and an example from Allah Almighty about two men. أَحَدُهُمَا أَبْكَمُ لَا يَقْدِرُ عَلَى شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ كُلٌّ عَلَى مَوْلَهُ. One of them dumb and unable to do anything, while he is a burden to his guardian. أَيْنَمَا يُوَجِّهُ لَا آيَاتِ بِخَيْرٍ. Wherever he directs him, he brings no good. هل يستوي هو ومن يأمر بالعدل. Is he equivalent to the one who commands justice? وهو على صراط مستقيم, and while he is on right course. The first underlined word is abkamu, dumb, kullum, burdensome. In the verse, Allah Almighty has given another example about the two men regarding authority and capabilities. One of them is without wisdom and intellect, does not have any ability, and is a burdensome for his guardian. Wherever he is being sent, never comes up with any accomplishment. He is totally dependent and does not have any ability to benefit others. Now, can this person be equivalent to the one who enjoins and gives verdict with reference to justice and is moving on correct course? They can never be equal. In chapter 11, Surah Hud, verse 24, it is mentioned, the example of the two parties is like the blind and deaf, and the seeing and hearing. Are they equal in comparison? Then will you not remember? A summary of the 10th Ruku. People have different attributes and capabilities regarding the acquisition of provision. Allah Almighty has given precedence to some folks over another. The requirement of gratitude is to use it for ourselves and decimate it for the welfare of the creatures of Allah Almighty and those who are needy and helpless. Neither all members within the family are equivalent, nor have any similar abilities for acquiring sustenance. But in the emolument of the family, every participant is provided the portion. Similarly, human society is like a big family unit, and in it, everyone has different capability of earning. The important fact is that the people with affluence of wealth should spend it on needy so that they can live their lives with dignity. The giving hand is always superior than the one who receives it. May Allah Almighty help us in understanding the true context of the Holy Quran, and may we act upon it in accordance to the guidance of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Sadaqallahul Aliyul Azim. Sallallahu Ta'ala ala Habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.